All right, shalom, shalom, all praises be to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Akakudash. Double honors to our apostles, a great millstone. Honor to you brothers out there pushing his word in love and sincerity to wake up the elect. Peace be to the elect and their families, those that change according to the word. Calling on the names of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai in time of trouble. We say, peace be unto you. May the Lord have mercy on you in these evil times that we're living in. And, this is just a quick response video to the Elder Ayash video. Put up a video about the plagues and pestilences that's coming in the earth, and we're living in a time where people are real high-minded and haughty, and everybody is in that get to the money spirit, and I'm cool, I'm straight. You try to tell them about Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and the judgment that's coming. Oh, I'm cool, I'll be all right. Not considering that they have to go out into society every day. Now the Lord is unleashing these plagues upon the earth. A lot of these women that are nurses, they're gonna be on the front lines of getting this shit. And then if you know any women that are nurses, these are mostly narcissistic, wicked individuals. When a person has worked in a position of seeing the suffering of others consistently, they become numb to it. And that's why they say a nurse, a female nurse, is the hardest to date. Men are built stronger, are built different than females. They can withstand that type of environment and still be able to operate, without mental disabilities. But most women, a woman is supposed to be the go-to when it comes to affection and nurturing. But now they have the women in the workforce, and these women are working jobs where they see pain and suffering consistently, and they become sociopaths. They become sociopaths. Okay. So these diseases that's coming out, these so-called nurses are going to be in the front line of receiving these diseases. And a lot of them going to be put to death. You worked your job, you got your money, you allowed that to make you snooty and look down your nose at other people and call other people broke. Broke nigga, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Now you being put back in a position where you could get sick and die. Okay? This is a good video to go see about the pestilences that the Lord is bringing in the earth. But I was looking at a story the other day, and I meant to get to this, but I was in Atlanta and I was on the move. Blessings be upon those brothers, man. We had a beautiful time out there with the brothers in Atlanta. Call on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. May the Lord continue to bless those brothers, man. Those brothers, man, they really looked out for us, man. We had a wonderful time with those Akim out there in Atlanta camp. Starting with the Bishop Itazawam on down. Much peace and love be upon those brothers. But hey, I only brought that up because we when we got stuck in traffic, we was like 4 minutes away from the CDC. We rode past one of those busy areas that was close to the CDC, and I was thinking, man, they could just unleash some shit. The Lord, the Lord could just unleash some shit at any minute. What we call a functioning society could go to the pits, man. Because the Lord could disrupt some shit like that. But he's doing it. He's doing it in a manner where it's creeping up. Because people see stories like this, like what the elder is bringing out, and they don't get affected by it. But the Lord is about to bring some horrifying shit in the earth. Okay? Now, I want to read this story, man. Well, let me start off read this scripture real quick. It's Baruch chapter 2 and verse 1 says, "Therefore the Lord hath made good his word, which he pronounced against us and against our judges that judge Israel, and against our kings and against our princes and against the men of Israel and Judah, to bring upon us great plagues such as never happened under the whole heaven. As it came to pass in Jerusalem," yeah, it happened in Jerusalem. We would catch our people were catching hell. When they had the mainly when they had the Jewish wars, the Roman Jewish wars, and it's spiritual because we were just out there at a mock up of the Ark of Titus out there in Atlanta, but just as the Lord plagued us back in those times, it's going to be even worse now. It says to bring upon us such great plagues such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem according to the things that were written in the law of Moses. So yeah, it was written in the law of Moses back then that that a man should eat the flesh of his own son and the flesh of his own daughter. And that happened in the siege, in that siege that they had, in what they call Masada, where they seized the city, and they surrounded the city. Well, they besieged the city and cut off all the supplies and allowed the people to starve. They allowed the people to starve to death, as the supplies that were coming in were either sacked or turned around, And you can imagine people, the young started dying first. People didn't have. You can imagine people didn't have the energy to bury bodies after a while, and the bodies laying out there started to bring sickness. But the Lord is about to bring some shit on this place, man, that we ain't never seen in this lifetime. I'm in my mid-40s. I haven't seen like any major plagues up until recent. The so-called corona. The so-called C19. Took place a couple years back. But that's a scratch on the surface compared to what's coming. And that elder goes into it on that video. But I want to read this article. It says, it's from eTurbo News. It's on other sources too. But it says a German citizen passed away on Lufthansa flight from Bangkok to Frankfurt after spitting up liters of blood. Should he have been allowed to board this flight? This may be a case for the courts. They said this man spit up liters of blood. Do you know how much blood that is? Do you know how horrifying it would be to see a person ejecting liters of blood from their mouth and nose? Well, that's the type of thing that's coming. And people are not afraid. People are not afraid. People living their best life. And people don't fear the Lord, man. So they're going to get caught right up in this, all this sweep of death that's about to come. People are going to get swept right up with it because they don't consider the fear of the Lord, man. And then when the day comes where shit like this start hitting over here, then people going to want to say, "Oh, but Lord, I'm sorry, but what's going to happen? Ain't going to be no forgiveness. The doors of mercy will be shut in the streets." And everybody that wasn't serving the Lord or wasn't changing, and living right, man, are gonna get the judgment of their deeds. Death by pain is going to hit a lot of people, man. A lot of starvation is going to ensue, and a lot of these pestilences are going to just sweep through and start taking people out of here. Could you imagine being on a plane and seeing something like that? A man ejecting liters of blood. It didn't say pints. It didn't say ounces. It said liters. You know how much a fucking liter of blood is? Remember back in the day when we used to drink pop? You go get a 2-liter pop or some call it soda, and half of that is a liter. And they said he was spitting up multiple liters of blood. It sounds to me like some type of hemorrhagic fever. No, those hemorrhagic fevers cause that, and if that's the case, everybody on that plane is sick. And there's no information on what happened with the people, if they're quarantined or nothing. Ain't no information on that. But I can say this: keep an eye out on China. I think the plane did divert and go back, to China. But keep an eye out. Keep an eye out, man. And Jake better be trimming their lamps, man. Getting right with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because if you see shit like this, you better believe your ass gonna want to pray. You better believe you're gonna want to serve the Lord, man. Hey, time is short, man. I've never seen nothing like this in the news. A man spitting up liters of blood. It says Lufthansa Flight 773 on February 8th from Bangkok to Frankfurt was categorized as a nightmare on social media posts by passengers on this plane. It says a Lufthansa pilot had allowed a sick passenger to board LH773 even after fellow passengers alerted the crew before takeoff of the critical condition of this passenger. He eventually had to declare an emergency and return to Bangkok with the passenger deceased and covered in his own blood. See? You seeing something like that will take the pride right out of your heart, man. Seeing that guy burn up in that Tesla, should take the pride right out of people's heart. But seeing some shit like this and knowing that this could be a potential spreadable disease, don't be surprised you out shopping, at the mall or you in a movie theater, and all of a sudden some female or some guy starts vomiting liters of blood. Don't be surprised, because the Lord is fucking fed up. That's horrifying, to say the least. That's horrifying, man. They said this dude was ejecting blood out of his nose and mouth. Liters. It says 63-year-old German man was traveling with his Filipino wife. He looked sick, was breathing too fast and sweating as he was boarding the flight. He said he was experiencing these symptoms because he was running to make the plane. I said, bang, ain't nobody gonna tell you, look, I'm sick, I feel sick. Oh, I'm okay. I was just running to make the plane, nigga. Okay, nigga. It says, Bangkok, Savarnabhumi, or whatever, International Airport is known for its long walkways, since passengers often estimate the time it can take to walk to their boarding gates. It says the captain relied on a non-English speaking passenger to allow the flight to continue. The flight notified the captain about conditions of this the condition of this passenger before taking off. It says the captain called for a doctor on board. A Polish doctor who spoke little English examined the pulse of the passenger and cleared him for this 12-hour and 20-minute flight. It says the sick passenger was given some hot tea. His wife noticed he was spitting blood into a sickness bag provided at his seat. So this guy was basically, he was spitting up blood already before the plane took off. But you know, some guy, oh, I just want to go. I just want to leave. I'm ready to get back to Germany. You know? So he's all right. So what happened? It says, regardless, the flight taxied to the runway and took off from Germany. Once in the air, the condition of the passenger dramatically worsened. He kept spitting lots of blood out of his mouth and nose. Witnesses say he must have lost liters of blood, contaminating the carpet, the window, and the walls of the aircraft. Woo, the Lord ain't no fucking joke, man. Hey, you better learn to fear the Lord. Now, I'm telling you, man, people treat each other fucked up, man. You know, people do shit and don't care. They don't care that the Lord could judge me for this. The Lord could get me for this. They don't consider the anger of the Lord, man, and them sinning against him and being a bunch of deviants, a bunch of degenerates. You know, they don't consider that. But they gonna consider hard when shit like this start happening all over the fucking place. Imagine a school bus driver. Oh, I just feel a little sick. Take off with kids on the bus and then start spitting out liters of blood and wreck the bus or drive over a fucking bridge with a bus full of kids. Imagine a airplane pilot. You know, he's coming over the cities and all of a sudden he just starts spitting out liters of blood. You know, what do you think gonna happen to that plane? You know? Anybody. You could be on the highway and you having a good time and some semi-truck driver starts spitting out liters of blood. And next thing you know, he's ramming cars and flips the truck over and kills. There's a pileup. You know, you never know, man, when death is looking for you, man. It says he kept spitting up lots of blood out of his mouth and nose. Witnesses say he must have lost liters of blood, contaminating the carpet, the windows, and the walls of the aircraft. As the flight attendants try to save his life. Let's read that. Flight attendants on board the Lufthansa flight rushed to the passenger's aid and tried desperately to save his life. The flight attendants immediately began resuscitation. I wouldn't have did no goddamn resuscitation. A man spitting up blood, and you gonna do mouth to mouth? I'm sure they probably had the little plastic cover, but still, you know how messy blood is at those amounts. You know, the droplets of blood can travel through the air. And it says he's spitting up blood out of his nose and mouth. And you gonna put your lips on him? Or they could have had the machine. Either way, they could have had the little, thing you put on his mouth and you press it. They could have had that, but either way, if blood is getting all on the fucking walls and windows of the aircraft, don't you think it's gonna get on you? The best thing they could have done was grabbed him and separated him from the people. But they didn't think to do that, so hey, it is what it is. It says the flight attendants immediately began resuscitation, according to a witness, to unfortunately looking a bit amateurish After 30 minutes, the crew abandoned life-saving attempts and removed the man's body to the galley. He was covered with a black curtain. The pilot declared an emergency and returned to the massive Airbus A380 to the Thai capital. He made an announcement. Wait, I thought it was. Oh, it was Flight 773. Oh, okay. Just making sure. A380 to the Thai capital. He made an announcement saying that a fellow passenger died on the plane, and they had returned to Bangkok about 90 minutes into the flight. After the plane landed in Bangkok, it took 2 hours before anyone from Lufthansa showed up to assist passengers. Were allowed to leave. It says passengers were allowed to leave the plane. No discussion about isolation was overheard, raising the question about what the cause was for this passenger to have been spitting up so much blood. See, they don't want to stop a disease. You know, in a situation like that, you would definitely quarantine people. You know, there was no assessment that this was some type of hemorrhagic fever could possibly be spread to other people. You know, apparently this man was sick. But no, hey, just let the people go back into society. That's why I said keep an eye on China. And you know what? These people probably caught another flight to Germany. So keep an eye on Germany too. And passengers received $10 meal vouchers, and some passengers were booked to Hong Kong to connect on another Lufthansa flight to Frankfurt. See? It says the deceased grief-stricken wife was left unattended by the airlines and airport staff. She had to clear customs and immigration on her own, looking heartbroken, confused, and lost. More than 30 passengers witnessed the event on the board and were equally traumatized and were all also left alone after this 2-hour wait. So that's pretty much it on that, man. You know, that's pretty much it. But these are the type of things that are coming in the earth that the Lord is about to bring, that you're about to see on a mass scale. And, you know, and everybody ain't been calling on the name of the Lord. Everybody that haven't feared the Lord. Everybody haven't considered the work of their hands and the work of the Lord's hands. They're gonna be introduced to shit like this. You know, they're gonna be introduced to watch how shit kick up in the coming months. You know, and Jake walking around with this "I ain't never scared" spirit. Oh, you gonna be fucking scared. I guarantee that. The Lord, the Lord said, "If I be a God, where is my fear?" You know, so that's one thing that He requires is for us to fear Him, man. Why would God want you to fear Him? Hey, a lot of us, we want our kids to fear us. You want your kids to do what you say when you speak. Don't make me mad. Don't do that. You know, but hey, here it is. You the child of God, but you don't want to fear Him. Oh, the Lord's gonna get His fear, man. I'm not worried about that. The shit that the Lord is about to bring in the earth is gonna shake the core of men. People are gonna be fucking afraid, man. I guarantee you that. Why would the Lord want me to be afraid? It don't. At this point, hey, hey, I'm not gonna even answer no question like that. If you're that damn lost, then maybe you should stay there. But hey, It is what it is, man. You know, with that I'm gonna give all praise to you. How about Shemi Shai, Bashim Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone. Honesty, brothers out there pushing his word. You know, and may the Lord have mercy on you and your families in these evil times, man. Hey, man, like, the Lord ain't fucking playing, man. Watch. Things are about to start moving a little bit faster. The brother just named three new sicknesses that's hitting the Midwest right now. And imagine, people are still traveling, so these things are going to... Watch. The pride of man should be brought low. Shalom.